Brooke, what's up, man? What another fantastic night. Did you enjoy this topic of fear?
It's a tough topic. Yes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning a lot from the other men as they shared their truths and experiences and stories. Wow, heavy ones. Some of them are heavy. Been through a lot.
Yeah. It was a well-attended week, that's for sure. We had 20 guys on Tuesday for the lunchtime call, and we had another 19 tonight. And no one is immune to this concept or this topic of fear, that's for sure. How about we give the audience some tactics and strategies that we talked about. Not that we have all the answers, but hopefully we can shed some light on kind of what we shared as a collective community. So anything come to mind, man? What are you thinking, Brooke, from a tactical standpoint?
Well, what I heard a couple times tonight was fear needs action. Step into it. Step into it. And that's called courage. Is what the translation of that is. But we can sit idle and do absolutely nothing and just imagine that it's going to be as bad as we imagine it's going to be, or we can actually do something about it and get through it. And, oh gosh, none of what I feared actually happened, which is the case most of the time.
Isn't that funny, Brooke? Yeah, when I think about my life, it's how much, worry is almost prayer for what I don't want. And as the mind just keeps focusing on, what you don't want, it's just like, well, why would you even go there? And I think about how many times in my life where I've been fearful and I have not taken action. At the end of the day, it's like, no, don't play small, don't back away, just dance with fear. Just don't try to get rid of it. Just step into it, step to it and through it. And you know what? Every time in my life, it's worked out. Take action.
Yeah.
Fear needs action, right? How about, here's one that came up. I mean, it's pretty simple, but be prepared. And when I heard that, it was actually said on Tuesday, and I just repeated it tonight on the call. But when I heard that, I thought to myself, I don't want to necessarily over prepare, because that can lead to another waste of time or darker place, but prepare enough. A conversation, a different conversation, a sales call, a presentation, be prepared. Common sense. It's a tactic, right?
Yeah. So being unprepared certainly would instill fear in a man, right? You have to execute this. Have I done due diligence? No. Oh shit. Right. So it's kind of it's a reflex. Man, I'm not ready.
That's right. Here's another tactic I've personally used. Play out worst case scenario in your mind with a decent amount of probability. Because if we can all go to, well, I'm going to die and everybody's going to die. Oh, well, okay, yes, you're right. That's worst case scenario. But let's go ahead and do worst case scenario with a decent probability, a likelihood of actually happening. So you walk away from your business, in your case, Brooke, or I walk away from a corporate job. What's worst case scenario? Okay, we go try something for X amount of time. It doesn't work. We go get another job. We make less money, but the bills still get paid. Can I live with that worst case practical scenario? And the answer is yes. I got to tell you, Brooke, that's been a tactic and or a strategy that's worked. Not that I want to live in that, but it helped me a lot to play it out in my life and say, oh, okay, I can deal with that. That's not the end of the world. In fact, I'll grow from it. So let's press on. Let's press forward. Have you ever tried that tactic or strategy?
So that tactic was suggested to me in a book that I'm reading, and you've probably read it too. It's The Illusion of Money. And he talks about that. And I think it's probably about halfway through the book or so, maybe a third of the way through the book. He talks about that exercise. So I wrote that down on a note as I was driving on a sticky note, and it is pending for me. It's clearly a beneficial exercise, but I've had some resistance around it. So stepping into the fear, just even doing the exercise, right? It's almost paralyzing sometimes how funny it shows up in sinister ways.
Isn't that funny? By the way, that's a fantastic book. It's one of my favorite, probably in my top 5.
Looking forward to completing it.
Yeah, love it. One guy brought up get out of self. So if he stays home, he's isolated, not just him, right? Show me any man in Thumos or outside of our community. Show me a man that's isolated for long enough, and I'll show you a man that's going ultimately headed towards trouble. So just the concept of getting out of herself, getting connected, serving others, it's a great thing to do, to step out of fear, right?
Yeah, for sure. And something else that was brought up was turning fear into fuel. Like
Love that.
taking that fear and using it as motivation. It's kind of like energy behind you. You know, what can I do this to subdue me, or can I use it to propel me? We have a choice, right? We have a choice.
Right.
Like Chris's daily bread. We have a choice not to use fear in a destructive manner.
And then one of the things that Chris said tonight, which I thought was powerful, is what's happened to us in our past does not define who we are. It's what we've been through, but it does not define who we are. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, and so probably the other half of that is how we responded to what happened defines who we are. Because getting through something is one thing, but responding well, what do I mean? Did we grow? Did we advance? Did we gain enough to use as a gift for somebody else? Did it change our lives and make us better for us and the people around us? What did it improve, right?
That's right. And this concept, I think you nailed it. The concept of asking a question, did it help me grow? Does it help a man advance? In my mind, that's the purpose for being on this earth, is to grow. Call it grow the soul. And so if the purpose, which I believe, of being on this earth is to grow the soul towards God, Christ, etc., then why would we avoid fear? Why not learn to accept it, dance with it, step into it? It's that growth is outside of the comfort zone. That discomfort is going to be a little fearful. And the majority of time, all the time in my life, looking back in the past, it's been okay. And it's going to be okay. So those are my thoughts, man. Any final words or thoughts from you, Brooke?
Nothing to add. Nothing to add. I thought it was a great topic. Men, we're not fearful to talk about fear tonight. It was nice.
That's exactly right. So folks, wherever you are, fear can be absolutely paralyzing. We get it. Or it can just be almost this other extreme, just a background, non-peaceful anxiety. Stay connected. Hopefully use some of these tactics and strategies. Maybe you've got some more. If you do, please share them with us in the comments. Do not let fear paralyze you. Press on. Thank y'all.